All right, wonderful. Thank you for joining me. Sorry for the wait. Welcome to our yoga and meditation class. We're going to do 30 minutes of gentle floor-based yoga followed by 30 minutes of guided meditation. All you need is a yoga mat or a carpeted area. And if you want to stay for meditation, you might want like a blanket or pillow nearby, but it is not necessary. Okay. So we're going to start in a comfortable seated position. You can sit crisscross applesauce or in Sukhasana easy pose with one foot in front of the other. If you'd like, you can take a moment and kind of rock back and forth, side to side, and then just evenly distribute your body weight on both sit bones and sit up nice and tall. If you'd like, you can have your hands in your lap with your right hand on top of your left hand, thumbs touching. You can close your eyes for a moment and just take a deep, life-giving breath. Feel your sit bones on the floor. Feel your spine nice and long. Notice the oxygen coming in and out of your lungs. And as you start to arrive in your yoga practice and your body and your breath, notice anything that's jumping out to you. Could be like a discomfort in a certain part of your body, maybe just something that happened earlier today or a task for later that's still on your mind, or maybe just like a general feeling that's kind of been following you this week. Whenever that is, you can name it, can acknowledge it, and then just politely set it aside. So you're just allowing yourself some time just to breathe, giving yourself permission, really just to be in the present moment, not worrying about what comes next or what happened, earlier this week or whatever that is. This class is really designed as like a transition from weekday to weekend, and a nice time just to go inward. Take an inhale through your nose, feel your chest rise. And a slow exhale through your nose, let your shoulders fall. Breathe in. And let everything go through the exhale breath. So the mind gets a little clearer, spirit gets a little lighter. If your eyes are closed, you can slowly open your eyes, looking straight ahead. If you'd like, you can place your hands on either sides of your hips for a little support. Inhale, stretch the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Exhale, slowly tilt your right ear towards right shoulder, stretching the left side neck. And it's worth noting that I'm not mirroring you, so it might look like I'm moving my head to the left when in fact I'm moving my head to the right. You are welcome to follow my words or my body, either way. Just know that I will do the right side of postures first, unless I forget, which sometimes happens. Drop your shoulders, lift your chest. Notice if you're leaning to one side. Evenly distribute your body weight on both sit bones, so it's just your neck spine moving. Slowly roll your head down, chin to chest. Keep rolling, roll left ear towards left shoulder, stretching right side neck. Relax the shoulders, lift your chest. Maybe lean back a little bit so that your head is over your shoulders, shoulders are over your hips. You might notice that this side feels a little or a lot different. It does for me, and that's okay. We're not symmetrical, and yoga is really not about symmetry or even about like postures. Yoga is really about self-realization, just an opportunity to practice some self-love. Drop the shoulders, lift the chest, let your left ear drop towards left shoulder. Good, and slowly roll your head down, chin to chest. Let your head be heavy, but keep your chest proud. So just the neck spine moving, relax your jaw. Look down towards the floor, drop your shoulders, bring your chin a little closer to your chest, but never forcing the body. You want these motions to feel good. It doesn't have to be like the deepest degree of a yoga posture, just a gentle stretch. Good, slowly roll your head back up, look straight ahead, and then lift your nose, lift your chin, look up towards the ceiling. Maybe let your head drop back all the way, maybe not. Keep your chest lifted and your shoulders down. So now we're stretching the front of the throat and compressing the neck spine. Good, slowly roll your head back up, look straight ahead, inhale, stretch up. On the breath out, look over your right shoulder. So just the neck spine moving, keep your shoulders and hips pointing forward, evenly distribute your body weight on both sit bones so you're not leaning to one side. Pull your abdomen in, drop your shoulders down, look over your right shoulder so your eyeballs get a little stretch too. Good, slowly, carefully come back to center, look straight ahead, stretch up, and slowly look over your left shoulder. So it sounds silly, but in a good yoga class or like a traditional yoga class, even the eyeballs are getting a stretch. So at different points in this class, we will look like up or down, right or left, or to one side. So glance over the left shoulder where your eyes go, body knows to follow. What the mind can conceive, the body can achieve. Sounds a little corny, I know. Okay, slowly come back to center, unwind, look forward. Gonna inhale, sweep both arms overhead, getting some motion in the upper body. Bring your hands together and slowly exhale, pull your hands through heart center like you're saying a little prayer. 2 more, inhale, sweep your arms overhead, big stretch up. Palms together, exhale, sweep the hands through heart center. Last one, inhale, big stretch up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Good, place your hands on the floor in front of you and start to tilt forward. So try to keep your butt down, you can walk your hands forward or maybe even forearms to floor if you have a long torso. Let your head hang heavy, just getting a little bit more motion in the back. Drop your head, relax your jaw, keep your shoulders away from your ears. Slowly walk your hands back in, press yourself up. This time, sweep your arms behind you, squeeze your shoulder blades together, open through your chest, look up and back. You can stick your butt out a little bit. Looking back. Good, and then slowly uncurl, look straight ahead. Take your right hand outside of your right hip, and on your next inhale, sweep your left arm long overhead. Drop the left shoulder, lengthen the left arm, look straight ahead. Pull your abdomen in gently, and if it feels good, you can stretch a little bit more to the right. So you're stretching the left side body, gently compressing the right side body, still just waking up the spine. Good, place your left hand on the floor in front of you, sweep around, place your left hand outside of right hip, inhale, breathing, reach your right arm long overhead. Exhale, breathing, drop the right shoulder down. Look straight ahead, notice if you're leaning way forward or way back, keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. Again, just opening through the right rib cage, compressing through the left rib cage. Make it feel good. Good, place your right hand on the floor, sweep both hands in front of you, maybe folding forward a little bit more, relax your head. Good, walk your hands back up. Sweep your arms behind you again, open through your chest, stick your butt out, look up and back. Maybe let your head drop back all the way. And slowly roll up, come back to center. Okay, we're gonna do a fun coordination thing here. Inhale, sweep your arms up, big stretch. Exhale, place left hand on right knee, right hand close behind you like a second spine. Isn't that fun? Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, look over, right shoulder twist. So left hand on right knee, right hand behind you. Lean a little to the left, stretch up, abdomen in, breath out, look over, right shoulder twist. Good, slowly, carefully unwind. Let's do the other side. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, stretch up. Exhale, right hand to left knee, left hand close behind you like a second spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull abdomen in, look over, left shoulder twist. On this side, lean a little to the right. Press the right hand into the left knee for a little bit of leverage. Breath in, stretch up. Breath out, look over left shoulder, use your eyeballs, twist. Good, slowly, carefully unwind, come back to center. Keep your left knee bent, take your right leg long out to the right. Flex your right toes back to your face. This is a great way to stretch the inner right thigh. From here, reach your left arm long overhead again, and if you'd like, you can put your right forearm on right thigh and maybe stretch a little bit more. This is a great way to stretch out the left side body and the left lower back, especially if you sit at a desk all day. This posture is a really good way to stretch the back. Beautiful. Lengthen the left arm, drop the left shoulder. Perfect. And slowly come back to center. Take your left leg out, right leg in, reach your right arm long overhead. And if you'd like, you can place your left forearm on your left thigh or have your hand in front of your leg. Lengthen through the right arm, drop the right shoulder, flex your left toes back a little bit, breathe. Try to keep the right sit bone down. Good, and slowly come up. Keep your left leg long, right leg out, flex both toes back. So the wider apart you have your feet, the more you'll feel an inner thigh stretch. If this is too much, you can walk your feet back a little bit closer together. Okay, you can stick your butt out a little bit, put your hands on the floor, flex your toes back, and start to walk your hands forward. This time with a flat back, straight spine. So stick your butt out, puff up your chest, roll your shoulders back and down, look forward, take a breath, just feeling a nice stretch to the inner thighs. Beautiful. Slowly walk your hands back in. Keep your knees long. Bring your feet together. We're going to sit in our butterfly pose. So try to bring the soles of your feet together. You can put your hands on your feet and maybe do a little butterfly motion or cicada motion for being topical. Okay, everybody's like, please don't let me think of them again. Okay, and then as you're ready, you're just going to let your knees drop. So eventually the knees will press down, but at first, right, we're kind of like this. Eventually, you're just going to let gravity do the work. Option to stay nice and upright or start to fold forward again with a flat back, straight spine. You can keep your hands on your feet or even walk your hands forward. Nice little hip opener, but never going to a point of pain. If this is too much, you can also bring your feet further away from your body, and then you'll still get that stretch to the outer side seat and the hips without like too much of a hip opener. Beautiful. Okay, good. Slowly come up. This time, lengthen your legs so your feet are in front of you. Flex your toes back. Stick your butt out a little bit. Inhale, sweep your arms long overhead. Exhale, fold forward. If you have a long torso like I do, it might be easy to catch your feet. If you have a short torso and long legs, I'm so jealous of your long legs. It might be easier for you to have your hands on the floor outside of your thighs, your knees, or your calves. So sometimes, when I tell people I teach yoga and they're like, I can touch my hands to the floor. I don't need yoga. I'm like, stand up, and I look at them and I'm like, you have a long torso. It's easy, right? So sometimes if we see somebody touch their hands to their feet, we think that they're really flexible when in fact it might just be body proportion. So just keep that in mind. If you ever see somebody doing something cool in yoga, it's possible that they've worked really hard on it, but it's also possible that their body proportions lend themselves to a certain degree in that posture. And all of us with our different bodies will have postures that are maybe a little bit easier or maybe a little bit more difficult, and that's okay. Slowly walk yourself back up. We're going to come into a tabletop position. So take a moment here with your knees under your hips and your wrists under your shoulders. If you have tight knees, you can roll up your mat so there's extra padding under your knees. Or if you do have a blanket nearby, you could also just put that blanket under your knees, no problem. So there's less pressure on the kneecaps. Okay, from here, if you have the same problem that I do with tabletop, which is that our shoulders are always tensing up, there's a nice little exercise to get the shoulders out of the ears. You're going to bend your elbows out to the side, come down, and then push yourself up. Feel the shoulder blade scapula slide apart. Okay, from here, abdomen in slightly. We're going to take some cat-cows. Take an inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose, cat pose, round your spine. So drop your head, press your hips forward, hips to ribs, ribs to hips, relax your head, shoulders away from the ears, round your spine like an angry cat, meow. On your next inhale, we're gonna move into cow pose. Stick your butt up, drop your belly down, shine through your heart space, look up, look back, keep the shoulders out of the ears. We're dropping our abdomen down like a cow. Cat pose, meow, round your spine, tuck your tailbone under, pull your abdomen in, slide shoulder blade scapula apart, look for your belly button. Cow pose, look for the ceiling, slide shoulder blade scapula together, open through your chest, lift your tailbone up to the ceiling, drop your belly button down to the floor. Last round, make it feel good, take your time. As you exhale, round your spine, push the floor away from you, keep the shoulders out of your ears. And whenever you're ready, bend your spine, keep your shoulders out of your ears, look up and back. Good, and then come back into a neutral position. We're gonna do thread the needle, keep your left hand on the floor. Inhale, reach your right arm up, look up. Exhale, thread the needle, take your right hand through left arm, so right shoulder comes to the floor. You can keep your left hand on the floor next to your face for stability, or reach your left arm up to the ceiling, drape behind you, catch your left thigh with your right hand for a bind. So this is a great way to open the shoulder blade and deltoid, but it can be a little intense. So if this does not feel good for you, you can come up, sit back on your feet so you're getting a nice toe ankle stretch. And an alternative stretch is to take your right arm long out to across your body, bend your left arm up, drop your right shoulder down, and now you should still get that same shoulder stretch without putting too much pressure on the shoulders. This is always an alternative for thread the needle. If you're in thread the needle and you have your left hand draped behind you for a bind, reach your left arm up to the ceiling first. Place your left hand on the floor close to your face. Everybody together, unthread the needle. Inhale, reach your right arm up, look up. Exhale, place right hand on floor. Other side, inhale, reach your left arm up, look up. Exhale, thread the needle, take your left arm to your right arm. You can keep your right hand on the floor or reach your right arm up, drape it behind you, catch your thigh for a bind. Again, if thread the needle does not feel good on this side, you can come up into a seated position. Take your left arm long across your side body, bend your right arm up, drop your left shoulder down and breathe in and out through your nose. If you have your right hand behind you for a bind, reach your right arm up to the ceiling, place your right hand on the floor close to your face, press down. Everybody together, unthread the needle, inhale, reach your left arm up, look up. Exhale, place your left hand on the floor. We're gonna do a runner's lunge. Bring your left foot forward so that your foot is in between your hands and start to slide your right knee back. And you're welcome to keep a blanket or rolled up mat under that right knee. Option to stay here with your hands on the floor or start to tent your fingers, lifting up a little bit. And if that feels good, see if you can lift up and put your hands on your knee. Right hip a little forward, left hip back, press that left foot down for stability, and you feel a nice stretch to the right hip flexor. Good, put your hands back on the floor, bring your hips back. This time move your hips towards your heel, flex your toes back, drop your head, drop your shoulders, getting a stretch to the left hamstring and calf. Look forward, move forward, back into your tabletop, bring the left knee down. Good, back into the tabletop. I didn't describe that well, but it seems like you all got there, so good for you. And now we're gonna make some circles with our body. Moving the hips and shoulders clockwise, counterclockwise, and just getting some motion in the body. Good, and then come back into a neutral position. Other side, take your right foot in between your hands, start to slide the left knee back for a low lunge, stretching through the left hip flexor. At first, hands flat on the floor, eventually lift up, tent your fingertips, and if it feels good, press your right foot into the floor for stability and lift up. You can interlace your fingers and place your hands on top of your knee. Left hip a little forward, right hip back, shoulders back, chest proud, reconnect to your breath. As you're ready, put your hands back down on the floor, sink your hips back, hip towards your heel, flex your right toes back, fold forward. Drop your head. And then look forward, hands to the floor, lift your hips back up, bring the right knee down, walk your hands back, sink your hips down. So now we're in our firm pose, Rudrasana, getting a nice toe ankle stretch. From here, interlace your fingers behind you and slide your hands down, lift your chest up, drop your head back, nice little back bend. Looking up and back. Slowly come back up into a neutral position. Walk your hands in front of you, start to walk your hands forward, sink your hips down, child's pose. Take a breath here, stretching out the back. Slow breath in, feel the backs of your ribs expand, stretching your back. Slow breath out, lengthen from the tailbone all the way to the fingertips. Good, place your hands on the floor, press yourself up, turn around for Savasana or puddle pose. Arms and legs down. Take a moment here, just let everything reset and realign. You can inhale through your nose, feel your chest rise. Exhale through your nose, let your hands and feet be heavy. Breathe in and slowly breathe out. Bend your legs so your feet are on the floor. Lift your hips a little bit, turn your palms to face the floor and walk your hands under your butt so palms face down. Press your heels and shoulders down, squeeze your butt and lift your hips up for a supported bridge. Rather than opening through your ribs, try to knit your rib cage together, squeeze your glutes, press the shoulders down, chin to chest, and slowly lower down, hips down. Keep your legs bent, supine figure four. Left foot on the floor, lift your right leg off the floor, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, so that if you look down the center line of your body, your legs make a four shape. Option to stay here or lift your left foot off the floor and start to hug your thighs in towards your chest. You can place your hands on the outsides of your thighs or knees. I like to interlace my fingers behind the left thigh and pull down. Relax your left foot, relax your right foot. This is a great way to stretch the right side seat, right hip. And if you have sciatic nerve pain, this is your posture. It's really good for stretching and calming, soothing that long sciatic nerve. Okay, release any grip on your thighs. Bring your left foot down to the floor, right foot down to the floor. Bring your arms back underneath your tush, palms face down. Press your heels and shoulders down, squeeze your butt and lift your hips up. Think about lifting the pelvis up to the ceiling, knit the ribs together rather than opening the ribs. You're squeezing the ribs, squeezing your glutes, press your shoulders, heels, palms down. Good, and slowly lower your hips down. Keep your right foot on the floor, lift your left foot off the floor, cross your left ankle over your right thigh, supine figure four other side. Option to stay here or lift your right foot off the floor. And again, you can grab the outsides of your thighs, your knees. I like to interlace my fingers behind the right thigh. And notice how this side might feel different or the same. Notice if you're kind of leaning to one side, try to evenly distribute your body weight on your shoulders and hips. Chin just a little bit towards the chest so you can lengthen the neck spine. If you have a grip on your legs in any way, release that grip, return your right foot to the floor, left foot to the floor, bring your arms back underneath your butt, palms face the floor, press your heels down, squeeze your glutes and lift your hips up, shoulders down, heels down. If you've ever seen Center Stage, I always think about that scene in Center Stage. If you don't know what I'm talking about, never mind. Press your heels down, press your shoulders down, squeeze your butt, lift your hips, look down the center line of your body, and slowly lower down. Let your butt sink down. Happy baby. Tuck your tailbone under a little bit so you feel your lower back on the floor. Lift your legs up, flex your toes back, let your legs be wide. And as you're ready, you can grab the outsides of your feet with your hands. If you can't grab your feet, you can also grab the backs of your legs. The idea is you're flexing your toes back. From here, you can rock back and forth, side to side. Great way to massage the back. Maybe as you roll to the left, you lengthen the left leg, come back to center. As you roll to the right, you lengthen the right leg, come back to center. When you're done rocking and rolling, you just hold still in the center line of your body. And if it feels good, pull your knees down towards the floor on either sides of your ribs for a deeper hip opener. Let your pelvic floor relax. Very nice. From here, release the grip on your feet. Place your hands on your outer knees, thighs. Bring your knees, feet together. Place your hands on your shins and pull down. So now knees, feet together. You can keep your hands on your shins or maybe interlace your fingers. And again, you can rock back and forth, side to side, rolling out your back. Pull down, look down the center line of your body. Okay. You're going to keep your legs bent, release the grip on your knees, bring your arms out to the side, palms face the ceiling. And from here, you're going to roll to the left. So right hip stacks on top of left hip, right knee on top of left knee, right foot on top of left foot. Try to keep your right shoulder down on the floor. This is a nice spine and abdominal wall twist. You can keep the back of your head on the floor or look over your right shoulder, maybe bringing the right ear towards the floor. Take a breath. Notice what you're thinking about and let it go. If you're looking over your right shoulder, roll your head back to center. Slowly roll your right hip down. Other side, roll to the left. Left hip on top of right hip. Left knee on top of right knee. Left foot on top of right foot. Try to keep your left shoulder down. Palms face the ceiling. Option to keep the back of your head on the floor or look over your left shoulder. Breathe. Let your abdomen relax. Soften through your seat, your shoulders, your chest. If you're looking over your left shoulder, look back up towards the ceiling, roll your head back on straight, slowly roll your left hip down, re-interlace your fingers just below your shin, give yourself another squeeze. And this time, if you want, lift your head, tuck your chin to your chest, try to bring your forehead to your knees, take an inhale through your nose, squeeze everything, squeeze tight. Exhale through your mouth, let it go, arms and legs out, arms down. Final Savasana. You can close your eyes, open your arms and legs. In a minute or two, we'll transition to meditation, but not just yet. This final Savasana is very much part of our yoga practice. So sometimes, you know, especially like in the West, when we think about yoga, we think about like, you know, I don't know, balancing on your arms or balancing on a foot or on your head or like doing some crazy posture, right? But like, this is the ultimate yoga posture right here. And it's sometimes overlooked, but Savasana, and especially final Savasana, is such an important part of your yoga practice, right? This is kind of what makes everything else make sense. Notice where you might still be holding on to some tension in your body. Let it go through the exhale breath. Notice if there's any kind of lingering worries or cares on your heart or your mind. This is an invitation to let that go through the exhale breath too. Worrying or anticipating doesn't really get us there any faster, right? So sometimes it's the most useful, efficient use of our time, I should say, just to breathe and enjoy final Savasana. You can inhale through your nose, belly rise. Exhale through your nose, belly fall. And all is coming. Stay in final Savasana for as long as you'd like. We have a couple options from here. If you just want to stay for yoga, you're welcome to silently show yourself out of the Zoom. Thank you for coming. If you want to stay for meditation, you can stay like this in a final Savasana shape. You can also grab a pillow to put under your head or a blanket to put over your body, or you can slowly make your way up into a seated position, and you're welcome to meditate with me seated if that feels better for your body. And if you'd like, this is also a nice opportunity to grab a sip of water if that would feel good for you. It felt good for me. And if you want to be seated, I like to put a blanket under my butt so that my knees are a little bit lower than my hips. So as you find your way into a comfortable position, again, that can be seated or lying, I'll just explain a little bit about what meditation is and is not. So I think sometimes we think of meditation as an absence of thought versus, well, at least I've not experienced that. It's more, I like to define meditation as compassionate mind control. So sometimes throughout our day, we'll be trying to focus on something, and then you'll notice that your mind is wandering, right? And then we're kind of like hard on ourselves when we realize that our focus is gone. Meditation gives us an opportunity to practice staying with our breath, staying with our body, staying in the present moment, the task at hand. And whenever you notice that your mind has wandered, you're just going to compassionately return your thoughts towards your breath, towards my words, towards whatever it is that we're doing. And a useful technique for this, if you notice that your mind is wandering, or if you notice that like a big emotion is coming up, you can just silently say to yourself, thinking or feeling, and then just return back to your breath, back to your body. In general, we want to find some amount of stillness. However, if let's say like your foot falls asleep or something like that, and you're really distracted by that discomfort, You're always welcome to change how you are seated or lying. Just notice the difference between occasionally shifting so that you're not distracted by your discomfort versus constantly shifting because sitting still is uncomfortable, right? We're just going to practice a little bit of stillness. Okay, so I'm now going to light a candle as a symbolic gesture that we are entering into a more intentional time. We're being intentional with our thoughts, intentional with our breath, and intentional with our body movements. You are welcome to close your eyes. If closing your eyes is distracting, you can keep your eyes open, but do like a soft, fuzzy gaze just beyond the tip of your nose. So rather than focusing on individual objects in your periphery, it's like a soft, fuzzy, unfocused gaze. Or you can close your eyes. Take an inhale through your nose. And an exhale through your nose. Breathe in. And slowly breathe out. We're going to start with a breathing exercise called 4-7-8 breathing. You'll inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Hold the breath for a count of 7. And slowly exhale through your mouth for a count of 8. So the idea is you inhale fairly quickly. You're going to hold all that oxygen in your body, and then you're going to slowly exhale. Exhaling longer than we inhale tells the central nervous system that there's no need to fight, flight, or freeze. This is intended to be a calming, cooling, relaxing breathing technique. It might take you a few rounds to figure out how fast to inhale versus exhale. If after a few rounds of breath, you're still finding it difficult to breathe in the 4-7-8 format, you can change it so that the ratio stays the same. So you'd inhale through your nose for a count of 2, hold the breath for about 3.5 seconds, and then exhale for a count of 4. Sitting up tall, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, seal your lips, place your tongue at the roof of your mouth just behind your teeth. Exhale. And begin. Inhale through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale for a count of 4. Savor the breath for a count of 7. Keep the shoulders soft, chest proud. Exhale through the mouth for a count of 8. Breath in for 4. Pause for 7. Breath out for 8. We'll do 4-7-8 for 2 more minutes. You can use that count in your mind to help center your breath, practicing that compassionate mind control. If and when you notice that your mind is wandering, you just return to the 4-7-8 count. Let's do one more full round of 4, 7, 8 breathing. Whenever you're ready, just return your breath to slow and steady, in and out through your nose. Give yourself permission to relax. If it feels like you're holding on to something, this is an invitation just to set it aside and let it go. And if there's something weighing heavy on you that you simply can't let go of just yet, just imagine in your mind's eye what it might feel like to let go. So you don't actually have to, but you can still enjoy that sensation of what it might feel like to be a little bit more carefree, a little bit more at ease in the world. Breathing in and breathing out. Notice any thoughts playing across your mind, any feelings passing through your heart space. Just notice without judgment, which is something we have to practice. So you're just going to observe passing thoughts, passing feelings. You're just going to practice letting them pass through you. Sometimes, especially when we have an uncomfortable thought or feeling, we'll try to ignore it completely, or we'll attach to it deeply. And yoga and meditation offer us a third path where we can acknowledge these thoughts and feelings without attaching to them and just let them go. So an example is, sometimes let's say there's a back bending yoga posture that makes you feel a little nauseous. And sometimes we'll try to pretend like that's not happening. Or sometimes all of a sudden we'll start to say, I am sick, right? So then it's an I am statement. It's an attached statement. Yoga and meditation offer us this path where we can acknowledge what we're feeling, but just name it just as that, just a feeling, right? Like I feel sick, not I am sick. And then it's a little bit easier to locate where that is in your body, to let go of any judgment around that sensation. And then it's a little bit easier to let go. So as thoughts or feelings pass through you, you're just going to notice them and let them go. And sometimes in meditation, some of the biggest thoughts or feelings to pass through us are anxious thoughts of like, when is this going to be over? Or bored thoughts of like, what am I doing? How much longer is this? And if that is you in a meditation, that's also something to reflect on. I'm right there with you. How we do one thing is how we do everything. And if you find that you're a little anxious or bored in meditation, you might also find that you're a little anxious or bored outside of meditation. And meditation is a wonderful invitation, an opportunity just to practice what it would feel like, just to enjoy your own company, be still and breathe. I'll give us just a moment here, a minute, just of stillness and breath, in and out through the nose. Our thoughts can be quite layered. So sometimes even when the initial part of the brain starts to turn off, you might notice that there's another layer of thoughts going on. And we're slowly just peeling away those layers so the mind can relax, body can relax. We're using the breath to soothe the body and to soothe the mind. So when the breath is calm, the breath is telling the mind and the body that it's okay, right? Nothing to worry about here. As you settle into your stillness and breath, notice if there's anything in particular popping up. Could be deep relaxation or deep anxiety or, I don't know, unbridled joy or sadness or anger. Could be, oops, I forgot to do that thing, or I'm still really upset about that thing, or whatever it is. There's no right or wrong answer, truly, I mean that. But just notice what's coming up for you, whether it's a thought, a memory, a sensation in the physical body, or a feeling in the body. Take a moment just to name that without judgment, in fact, with deep compassion, especially if you're judging yourself for whatever it is that has popped up in your mind or your heart. Let that go. So we're in a non-judgmental space here, or just practicing that, even if it's hard. And then whatever that thing is that's popping up for you, see if you can locate where you feel it in your body. Like, is it in your abdomen or your chest? Maybe in the arches of your feet or your brows. And there's no right answer. Just notice where that thing that keeps coming through for you today, where do you feel it in your body? Does it have a temperature? Like, is it hot or cold? Does it have a certain color or shape that you associate with it? Maybe a taste or a sound. And the more we try to pin down this thought or feeling, the more absurd it becomes, right? And then the more we can detach from it, realizing kind of the absurdity of it all. Our thoughts are like clouds. Our feelings are like clouds. Sometimes they're white and fluffy and they pass quickly. Sometimes they're gray and stormy, like today in DC, and they hang around all day, right? But you are not the clouds, you are the sky. And just by watching these clouds pass without judgment or expectation becomes a little bit more manageable. Returning to stillness and breath. Imagine a warm, welcoming light shining down on you, radiating from the top of your head to your scalp, warming your shoulders, your chest, your back, and your legs. Just feel this light hitting your body. Feel your body getting a little bit more relaxed. Give your muscles permission to release. Allow the bones and joints to feel buoyant. Give the tendons and ligaments a break. And just feel what it feels like, or imagine what it might feel like just to be effortless in your body, only for a moment. Soften through the top of your head, your scalp, every hair follicle. Imagine your hair, even the hairs, getting a little bit more relaxed. Soften through your hairline and brow, forehead. Relax your temples and the space between your brows. Let your eyeballs be heavy in their sockets. Soften through your eyelids, under eyes, each and every eyelash. Relax the bridge of your nose, left nostril, right nostril. Relax your cheeks. Draw your attention to the space between your nose and upper lip, noticing any tension there, and let it go. Relax your upper lip, lower lip, tongue and back of the tongue. Soften through the roof of your mouth, your gums, each and every tooth. Draw your attention to your ears, relaxing outer ears, inner ears, space behind the ears. Let your earlobes be heavy. Relax your chin, relax your jaw, relax your jaw, relax your jaw. Soften through your throat and neck spine. Let your shoulders fall. Relax your collarbone and chest, armpits and upper arms, elbows, backs of the elbows. Notice any tension that you're holding in your forearms and relax. Soften through your wrists, your palms, the backs of your hands. Bring your full awareness to your left thumb, practicing compassionate mind control. It can feel a little silly to say, bring your full self to your left thumb, but it's a wonderful opportunity to practice focus, to really go inward. Bring your full self to your left thumb, relax your left thumb. Bring your full awareness to left second finger as if nothing else in the world exists. And relax your left second finger. Middle finger. Fourth finger. Breathe into left pinky finger. Now bring your full self to right thumb. And send a breath to right thumb. Focusing your attention on right second finger, relax right second finger. middle finger, fourth finger. Let go of any lingering tension in right pinky finger. Let your hands be heavy, softening through the knuckles and palms, wrists, all the way up through the arms and shoulders. Relaxing through the shoulders, the shoulder blades, space between the shoulder blades. Relaxing middle back and lower back, side torso. Soften through your pectorals, solar plex, space between the ribs, below the ribs. Relax your abdomen. Soften through your hips and seat. Relax your pelvic floor, outer thighs, inner thighs. Release any tension in the hamstrings. Any tension you might notice you're carrying in the quadriceps, let it go. Relax your kneecaps and backs of the knees. Relax your calves, shins, ankles, and heels. Soften through the soles of the feet, tops of the feet. You can wiggle your toes if it feels good. Bring your full awareness to right big toe. Send a nice slow breath into right big toe. Practicing that compassionate mind control. Relax right big toe. Bring your full awareness to right second toe. Relax right second toe. Middle toe. Fourth toe. Relax right pinky toe. Bring your full self to your left big toe as if nothing else in the world exists. And relax left big toe. Second toe. Middle toe. Breathe into left fourth toe. Release any lingering tension in left little toe. Soften through your feet, your calves, your thighs and hips, abdomen and back, side torso, shoulders, arms, and head. Notice any lingering tension in your body. Let it go through the exhale breath. Notice any lingering judgment that you're reserving for yourself, for your thoughts, for your feelings, for your life experience. And just let it go. Or if you can't let go of that judgment, just imagine what it might feel like to let it go, even if only for a moment. Let that fill your heart space, fill your lungs, feel your spine. Just imagining what it might feel like to live compassionately towards yourself and by extension towards others. Breathing in and emptying out. You're welcome to stay in this meditative space for as long as you'd like. Otherwise, at the count of 3, you can make any motions that might feel good to your body, that lets your body tell your mind, tell your breath that you're shifting gears. Take an inhale through your nose. Let it go with the exhale breath. 3, 2, 1. I'm now going to blow out this candle as a symbolic gesture that our intentional time together is done for the day. And And I'm going to let the very real smoke clear the air as a reminder that when we become intentional with the space around us and our relationship to it literally changes. Happy Friday. Hope to see you all soon.